My name is Greg Brooks. In this video, I will demonstrate how to use the Polyvision icon strip. The icon strip is magnetic for convenience purposes. You don't actually have to have the strip up on the board for it to work. Just like the board with the dots in the surface, this strip also has dots in its surface. Each icon square has dots programmed for that function. The first thing to know is that you can have one of two functions of your pen available. You can either be in pen mode or cursor mode. By default, you can see that I am in cursor mode right now. If I want to go into pen mode, I simply click anywhere on this toggle switch at the top. It will take me out of cursor mode, put me into pen mode, and now I'm able to draw on my screen. While I'm in pen mode, the left and the right arrows have special functions. If I hit the left arrow, it takes me out to a white screen. Notice if I keep hitting the left arrow, I have more white screens available. Five white screens in total. If I want to go back through those white screens, I hit the right arrow. And eventually it will take me back out to my desktop, which in this is blank. Notice too that I have the on-screen icon strip, which is available in the Polyvision menu, the Polyvision driver menu. And you can have this wherever you want on the screen. Okay, as we go down the strip, if I'm in cursor mode, I'll just toggle back to cursor mode. And now I can use my keyboard. If I bring up the keyboard, I'm able to type. Notice if I just hit the keys now, nothing happens. I actually have to have something to type into, so I can open up Word. Notice with the cursor arrow, I can now type into Word with my keyboard. I can either close the keyboard by hitting the X in the corner or by hitting the keyboard icon again. Going down the strip, the next tool is the paint palette. If I hit the paint palette, this is what I call a one-stop shopping for your pen settings. The first thing you want to choose is what's called the brush type. You have highlighter, in the middle is eraser, and finally pen. The next thing that you can choose is how thick you want the line to be. Over here, what line style? Solid, dotted, dashed. And of course we have 6 colors. Let's choose a pen color first to see what that looks like. Pen, let's look thick. We've seen a solid line already. Let's look at a dotted, and let's choose a color. Hit OK, and notice that I'm able to draw a line. Now, if I have dotted or dashed, when I'm drawing, it's going to be solid. When I lift the pen, it's going to convert, in this case, to the dotted line. Let's go back to the paint palette. Let's choose a highlighter. At the highlighter, I only have one width, so I can't choose anything there, and I'm only going to be a solid line, so I can't choose anything different there, but I can choose any of the colors down here. Let's see what a green highlighter looks like. Notice it's somewhat translucent, so I can still see what's behind it, again depending on the highlighter color I choose. Let's just go back to the paint palette. You'll notice the line colors here, there are 6 colors. 4 colors on the strip, which means if I want yellow or orange, I have to get those through the paint palette. Notice too that there is no icon here for highlighter. So if I want highlighter, I have to go into the paint palette. In the middle here is an eraser. I do have eraser choices that we'll get to in a moment, but if you wish, you can choose those from the paint palette. Likewise, you have your line width choices, what I call the snowman here, narrow, medium, thick, and we'll look at those in a moment. Line styles, solid and dashed, are on the magnetic strip. If I want dotted, I have to go into the paint palette. All right, let's move on. So right now, I am still a solid green highlighter. If I want to go back to pen, let me go back to pen, and I want to choose solid. Let's do a different size. Let's do a different color. There we are. If I want to choose different thicknesses, I can just hit them from the strip if I wish. Different line styles. We saw solid. Let's look at dashed. So the difference between dashed and dotted. Erasers. You will see 3 erasers, and they're actually rectangular shape. A little circle, a big circle, and an X. The little circle, you can probably guess, is a little eraser. You can wipe it like you would a traditional eraser and erase. The big circle, well, that's a larger eraser. A much bigger swath, likewise you can erase. Just be aware, if you erase, you cannot retrieve your information. It is gone if you erase it. And finally, X, it's going to erase all of the pen marks on this screen. Speaking of erasing, I'm wondering about the information that I wrote on those screens. Did that get erased too? Let me hit the back arrow. No. All of the information that I have on my white screens will stay unless I do one of 2 things. I either use one of the erasers or I turn off my computer. Otherwise, anything I put onto the white screens will be available regardless of what else I do on my computer. If I want to get out of the white screens really fast, a good trick, besides hitting these arrows to navigate through, I can hit the toggle button and it'll bring me immediately back out to the main screen that I left and put me into cursor mode. Going down the strip, we have 2 more icons, a printer and a disk. And this is so that you can preserve the work that you do. How does it work? If you have something on your screen, let's go out to a white screen. I have to go into pen mode, hit my left arrow. Let's say that I write something on my first screen here. And if I hit the disk, that's going to tell the computer to save the image up here. And actually what it's doing is it's saving whatever is on my computer screen. I will get a message from the computer that will show up at the bottom of my screen. It'll only stay there a few seconds, and that's okay. Sometimes it doesn't come up with that message. We'll see if it saved it. Let's go out and see. I don't want to get out of Word right now. I have it go into a folder on my desktop. Let's see if that image is there. I'm going to look for today's date. Let's see. Here it is. So it was able to save. And what's a good thing about that is I can take this saved image and I can email it to people, I can save it and bring it up later on my own computer. Let's close it up. I am not connected to a printer right now, But if I were to hit the printer icon, my computer will immediately send out one copy of whatever is on my computer screen, and that would include whatever is up there ordinarily, plus whatever I put there with digital ink. So 2 ways to preserve your work. The last icon on here is your calibration icon. And ordinarily, you will have already calibrated your board before you start with using your strip right now. But let's say that I need to recalibrate my board. First, I have to determine, am I in what's called fixed projector mode, and that'll be discussed in another video. But if I am not in fixed projector, I can tap on this icon, and it will bring up my green screen calibration screen. I'm just going to hit the center of the 9 targets, 3 top, 3 middle. You want to be sure to hit the center of each target, because this is lining up your computer screen and the projection on the board. Now I'm all lined up. And that is the Polyvision Eno icon strip. I hope this information has been useful. If you have additional questions, please call the Polyvision customer support.